I believe there's a hero in all of us.
You have great powers, only some of which you have as yet discovered.
I'm a superhero, mother.
A real-life superhero.
The world needs extraordinary. We will make you a superhero.
Are you ready to become a hero?
Initiating surprise in 3.
This
2
is
1.
The Real Brian Show.
Hello. So I picked up a hitchhiker today. You know, he says he's influential, but we're going to eat some Himalayan tonight. Maybe a Himalayan. You know what else? It's Friday. It's Friday! Oh my gosh! I'm so excited. Anyone seen the Atom Project yet or the new Halo series yet? Have you seen that? So grab your favorite drink. Let's get slap happy.
God, it's like I traded my brains for those muscles.
Cute kid.
Precious, isn't he? Don't you just want to hold him underwater till the bubbles stop? Oh, I freaking hate myself.
Let's rock it! Oh my gosh, welcome to the Real Brian Show. We're here, actually live, and what do we say? We're alive and in person? Isn't that the new term now?
What?
Hey, man. Dude, this...
I'm kind of lost in here. Wait, you're over there. Okay.
Hey, yeah. Hey,
okay.
You know what you need to do is bring the mic a little closer because, you don't have the benefit
like
of headphones
this?
right now. Yeah, so you can't hear yourself.
I can't hear any better like
Can't
this
hear anything
either.
at all, yes.
I'm here. I'm in studio.
Now
Check
you're
it out.
looking like a rapper. Yeah, what's up?
I look like I'm about to French kiss my mic. Like maybe a teen, like a preteen French kiss type of thing. You know, like when you were in middle school and you didn't know how to do it yet.
Oh, yeah, and then you like just kind of suction onto the person's face.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, actually. So I have you off in a corner. And
this is
obviously,
a corner?
this is just the wall. Yeah, because you got the wall behind you, and you can see a little bit here. Let me show anybody that's watching right now. Look behind you. You've got the La Serena from Picard. Yeah. You've got a Borg standing up there, actually, but you can't really see that. Yeah, he's like, and then the lightsaber below that, and all kinds of other fun little things right there. So, yeah, anyway, there you go. It's fun, but that's just one portion of the studio. I'm in another portion over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
everybody knows this side.
You can't appreciate the sheer size of the Studio 2.0.
Yeah.
With this video setup, right? I mean, because it's
on the
not
inside.
accurate. It looks like we're in a closed space, but we're not.
We're really not. No,
not at all.
No, nobody really understands how big this place is.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to experience. It's kind of like the show. You just kind of have to experience it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brian, what's the show about? Sometimes you just need to experience it for yourself, man.
Check it out, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited that we're actually here in person.
2 weeks in a row.
I know. This week and next week, because we weren't sure if we were going to have an episode this week, but here we are. So here's the cool part, though. I said, hey, man, we got to meet up for a drink and get something. But not like, hey, let's go out for a drink. It's more about let's get a drink and bring it to the show so that we can all talk about our drinks and share our drinks here. And here we are.
And here we are with the drinks.
Yeah.
Hey,
so we went over to Starbucks.
Where'd my drink go? Oh, right here.
There it is. And I was kind of like, hey, what's your secret menu doing? What's on your secret menu? And she kind of went, oh, I've got drinks that she got really excited, dude.
I know.
I was so excited. I mean, it was like, yes.
That was amazing. She didn't go, I don't know, I just work here. No.
Which is usually what happens anymore.
Yeah. So she,
I don't know.
She threw something out immediately at us and we were like, do it.
And she's like, I know the Frappuccinos are popular. I'm like, dude, give me something. We didn't have time to go to one of the local shops, but maybe we will eventually. So I don't even know. What is this?
Yeah, what is this?
She said something about a lot of shots of espresso.
It's mine's decaf. But it smells smells butterscotchy. And it's got half and half.
Oh, it's got that cold foam brew. And instead, and I went no ice. Yeah, cold foam. And then what they do is cold foam. I'm sorry, not brew. They have a cold brew with cold foam. This is cold foam.
It looks like a Frappuccino.
It's like cold fusion, man. So they infuse it with something. And then it's whipped cream foam something, and then they put a little half and half in there because they didn't want to fill it up with home. Let's try
whipped cream because there's no whipped cream on this.
Oh, and then thank God, they shake it in a cocktail shaker. When were we just talking about this?
Just like Tom Cruise in the 80s, man.
And I didn't want any ice, but it's nice and cold. Let's try. You ready? Here we go. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I taste the espresso.
Yeah.
Very creamy.
You know what it tastes like?
Yeah.
It has the aftertaste of an old school ice cream cone.
It does.
It tastes kind of like an ice cream cone.
Coffee flavored ice cream.
Yeah, or like an ice cream cone. Like it has literally that aftertaste of a cone, not a waffle cone.
It does. Yeah, the sugar cone.
Yeah.
Although I kind of taste waffle cone notes in there. Man.
Yeah, it tastes like I'm eating a coffee ice cream cone.
This is fantastic.
Which is good. It's really good, actually.
I love it. Yeah. Well, we're going to be hacking up phlegm later with all the milk. So what are you guys drinking? What are you drinking? Tell us, please tell us in the comments and YouTube and let us know, email us. 'Cause I want to know. It's amazing how many people will say, hey, before I listen to your show, I grab my favorite drink and I jump on and I watch or listen. And I love that. It just makes me so happy. So tell us what you're drinking, okay? I want to know.
Yeah, someone. Come on.
Yeah. So are you ready to get slap happy?
Dude, everyone's slap happy lately, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
like even actors in Hollywood are getting slap happy. Like
Against
Russia
comedians.
and Ukraine are slap happy.
Yeah, what's all this? You know?
It's just slap, 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 and
Yeah. High
you know,
five.
I slapped Brian before the show.
Yeah.
You can't see it anymore. His face isn't red anymore. He got over.
You can
really
see
fast.
my nose. My nose is a little red.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was bleeding actually under here, and I had to wash it off.
Yeah, I slapped him with my ring.
Yeah.
With my wedding ring. I'm sorry, dude.
I cut my nails so I can't hurt anyone anymore.
Yeah,
These things are weapons.
I don't usually slap people left-handed. That was the weird part.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to use the ring.
Like you wanted the dominant hand, but you were trying to be nice, and so you used your left hand.
I think my subconscious was trying to be mean.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. So slapping around.
Yeah.
I had to talk about this because I wasn't going to, but first of all, I don't follow the news. And so everybody's like, hey, what the heck's up with Will Smith and Chris Rock? And I'm like, huh? I don't know what's going on. I don't care. And then, oh yeah, dude, Will Smith like totally punched Chris Rock in the face, man.
Punched. That would have been more interesting if he had punched Chris Rock in the face.
But it was kind of a weak slap. It was more like
yeah, it was really weird. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in Will Smith for more than one reason. I mean, I don't think he should have slapped Chris Rock. No matter what joke Chris made about his lovely wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who we all love.
Which was sad.
But I think Will's just been around Hollywood too much, and so he's kind of got that vibe, where he gets oversensitive about everything. And
everybody's oversensitive about everything.
I think that's just a Hollywood thing, and so and Chris Rock is removed from Hollywood a little bit more. He's a comedian, so that's his job is to make fun of people. So
and no one is safe with him.
No, of course
one.
Not.
I mean,
that's why he's been good forever.
Yeah, Chris and Dave Chappelle, man, those two will make fun of everyone and everything out there, period. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You're getting made fun of. Yep. So, yes, and I think, so I did finally watch a video as what's going on. Here's what I thought was hilarious. So, he says something about, oh, yeah, Jada, I want to see you in G.I. Jane 2. Well, she has a condition where she loses her hair.
Yeah, what's it called?
I
have never heard of it before. So
Alosia, something like that. Alothia. I don't even know what it's called.
And then this week, Bruce Willis came out with, he has some kind of aphasia, some other word disease that he has. And I thought it was the same thing, but apparently it's not. I don't know. So
dang, man.
Whatever.
Well, I mean,
diseases everywhere.
What's interesting is that, okay, when you have something that you struggle with and somebody makes fun of it, but they're not making fun of it, they're just kind of making fun around it.
Yeah.
I could see where that could become a sensitive issue, because what happened is that they were showing Will Smith and he says, I want to see you in G.I. Jane 2. And then it shows Will and Jada, and Will's laughing.
Really?
And it shows Jada. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, she does this. She kind of goes like she got clearly offended. She was smiling, and then when he said that, it was like, no, that's not cool.
I wonder if
that's too personal.
I wonder if Will was all like, oh, that was funny, and she's like,
he did
to do something about this, and he's like, oh yeah, all right.
he totally, like, he was laughing, and she's all mad, and he's still laughing, and then goes back to Chris Rock, and then he gets up, and I was like, so something happened between the time that Will thought it was funny and Jada didn't.
Yeah.
And anyway,
yeah,
it's too bad. But then again, that doesn't, I mean, come on, you're going up in front of the entire world, essentially.
Yeah.
And you pimp slap, Chris Rock.
Sort of awkwardly pimp slap, too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I don't know.
And then he says what he says, with the F word on family-friendly television, and you're just like, really? So I want to talk about just kind of the anger and the negativity in a few minutes that's going on, because I was really, really kind of pimp slapped myself, call
not
it the...
Not just by me.
Not by really anyone. It's just, the realization of even how I'm letting negativity get to me and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But before we get there, dude, before I get into that, man, how's your trip going, man?
It's going really fast, and it's going good. So last September, my wife and I went to New Mexico, around the
Santa Fe area, right?
Yeah, around the Santa Fe area,
Yeah.
Taos and Ojo Caliente. And we went there again this last week with my mother-in-law and her sister, who I adore. We had a really good time. It just went really fast. And now we're here. Now I'm here, just me.
Yeah.
And I have a story to share.
Well,
with
hold
you
on.
though.
You guys spent time in the hot springs too, quite a bit,
Yeah,
right?
Ojo Caliente, which is
okay,
really,
that's what
really
it is.
popular
Yeah.
in
Hot
northern New
springs,
Mexico.
right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what Ojo means?
Ojo, it means hot eye, really.
Oh, okay.
In Spanish, but
Yeah, I've got a hot eye.
yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, go Mike. Oh yeah.
But my aunt, I have to share a really good, really short superhero story about my aunt. So we were at breakfast one morning a few days ago, and our waitress was, she's servicing several tables, and the table behind us, I guess it was behind me, so I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a middle-aged couple there that were really giving our waitress a bunch of grief.
Yeah.
And they were constantly trying to wave her down, and she was trying to service other tables along with them, and even when she was busy with another table, they were trying to get her attention and stuff. And it wasn't that she was ignoring them. She was giving them just as much attention as everybody else, but they were just being really difficult. And then when they got their ticket, the man went through it like with a fine-tooth comb with the waitress standing there, and then he had to cross something out, and then he made her get them another ticket. It was just really weird, over the top abuse of the waitress. Like, and they were both doing it. And that was weird. Like you'd expect one part of the couple, one member of the couple doing that sort of thing, and the other one going, "Don't be like that," or kind of like. But they were both being that way. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But I learned about this after the fact because I didn't see it. It was behind me. But after we left, my aunt went back to the restaurant, waved that waitress over, and said, "I'm really sorry about how that couple treated you. I know that probably ruined your day.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know that we saw what happened, and really and tried to encourage her, like don't let it get you down." And and the waitress gave her a hug and thanked her for it. It's like it really reminded me of the story that
Garrett,
Garrett Wong,
absolutely,
that Garrett Wong told on about the airplane. It reminded me exactly of that.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I was just so proud of her for doing that. It's like she didn't have to do that, but it just really made that lady's day.
Wow.
When she went back, just went back and commiserated with the person. So yeah. It was really interesting.
That's thank her for me, please.
I will,
that's really a cool thing, because you're right. I mean, now it's so funny because I've heard the need that, okay, so for example, if you get a steak and it's burnt or it's completely raw or whatever,
it's not done enough, or
you want to stick up for yourself and say, hey, unfortunately this, you open it up and it's bloody or whatever, it's raw, or it's burnt, show it to them or whatever.
Right.
That's one, or I didn't order this and that kind of thing. But you don't need to be a jerk about it. And I think a lot of people will just kind of say, "Oh, I don't want to do anything. I'll just eat the raw steak and get salmonella," or I'll just.
That's me. I don't like to confront.
You gotta stand. No, you're not confronting. You're just standing up for yourself and saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm paying for this. I ordered this, and it's not correct. And can you please fix that?" And you're being nice about it, though.
Yeah.
But a lot of times these people are just freaking idiots about it. We had somebody we were with a long time ago that was just being, a complete jerk, and I don't remember what he was saying. It's been so long, I don't remember. But finally, I went up and apologized too, and I said, "I'm sorry. I don't represent this person.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, what he said was wrong and everything."
And you know that you shouldn't have to, and you don't have to apologize for some stranger's actions towards another stranger. But when you do, it shows that somebody cares. That's what it does. It shows that someone cares, even if it's obvious you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I think people do appreciate that.
Yeah.
So.
It's important to go out of your way to do that, especially when you see something. The other thing that's important is go up and stand up for the person. Kind of like, hey,
if you have a little more courage, you could do that.
Yeah, I mean,
but
granted,
then you're gonna make a scene.
Well, but maybe that's okay. I mean, it depends. Like you said, if you're okay with doing that, but to be able to go in and say, "Hey, you know what? I hear what you're saying. You're frustrated, but this is not the way we treat people," and
that would have been even more interesting if she had done that.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, and I know that there's that, and I know that there's also the management should have come out and said something. But they didn't, and I don't know why.
Right.
But either way, I'm just, man, I'm thankful for your aunt doing that because it's incredible.
Me too. And she's a wonderful lady, and that just reinforced my high opinion of her. So she's in her mid 80s, by the way. She's an older woman. So I mean, she's very spry and all. She's not like, she's not like with a walker in her mid 80s. She's very. I would have given that person a roundhouse kick to the face. She's a very active mid 80s person, and
she would have been slap happy. Yeah, she should have.
Yeah. Well,
how dare you talk to her like that? Well, yeah, I know, but I
think that was before the slapping incident too.
Yeah,
so.
That would have been cool though. Because nobody would probably slap back an 85-year-old woman. Probably. No, well, then again, I don't know. We're in 2022. You never know what's going to happen. I was thinking about this too the other day, and the negativity has really gotten to me. And I've had a lot of conversations with people, just random conversations. It's the same kind of thing where you're just innocently talking. In fact, I guess I don't want to go into too many details about this. I don't want to call anyone out, but like you talk about one thing and somebody but not even assuming anything, they just immediately jump to some kind of negative crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them is, of course, climate change and global warming. I've got a friend who just, that's all he talks about. Yeah. And it's not you. I know you have a passion for it, but trust me, it's not you.
It's not a passion, but I definitely...
You think it's important, and I
think it's
agree with you. Yeah. No, this person, that's his mission. And that's a good thing. Except when it gets in the way of a normal conversation and other things like that, and that's all he talks about.
You can be excessive about any agenda, no matter how good it is. So
yeah, and again, so it's there's the issues with, of course, everybody's complaining about the leadership and the country, and I'm not going to go into detail about this, but episode 4 of Star Trek Picard season 2 was just chock full of agendas that, I was saying this, that Gene Roddenberry set an example of, here's how it could be.
Or should be.
Well, yeah, like it could be and should be, and follow us. Come join us.
Yeah, right.
That's what Gene did. This was exactly the opposite. This was you need to change now. You're stupid if you believe this and you're an idiot. And it's kind of how it came across. And I was like, and there were
there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, 4 different agendas in that episode. And I was just like, and it got me thinking, on one hand, I kind of just want to, again, it feels like bullying to me. So I feel like I want to slap him, punch back. Like, dude, you may be right, but I don't like how you're treating me,
Slap him with words is my advice. Yeah. Slap him.
But even then, I don't think I should do that either, because it's kind of like, people just don't like being preached to. And so I don't know, I'm thinking about this, and I'm in the middle of just this calm conversation, and somebody brings up something negative, and I just went, by the way, the girl that cuts my hair right now, it's not Sheer Terror anymore. She actually got out of the business, but this new, she's really wonderful, by the way. And she is a joy to be around. She's younger and just has this positive outlook, and something about, like, she's like, I hate the fact that conversations automatically turn to COVID or something else, and I don't want to talk about that. I just want to have fun and, look for the joy in life and I'm like, dude, you're so awesome.
She's speaking your language.
Yeah. And so I want conversations to not default to what's going wrong in the world. I want conversations to start defaulting to what's going right.
Right.
The more we focus on, the more we get. And so I really was, what's the word? Convicted, I guess is the right word. Convinced, whatever you want to call it, that we're not always excellent here on The Real Brian Show with making sure that this show is a positive escape. And
not always, but
no, I mean, we've like the last episode of Boba Fett, we kind of ranted about it. And it was a little bit of a test, by the way. We were kind of testing
we did that
to
on
see,
purpose.
like, can we, if we get negative, will we get more listeners? And the response was not favorable. And so that's good, by the way. That was a good test.
Yeah. And we're not just saying that it was a test. It actually was a test.
It really was, yeah. I remember
we're not just retroing like, oh, we didn't get very good reviews, so let's just tell everybody it was a test. No,
it was crazy. We actually talked about this from the beginning, that you did not like the episode, and I was kind of like, oh, it was fine. There were things I didn't like about it, but we're like, but I wonder if we get really negative and ranty about it, if it will draw more listeners. And so we did, and I went off in a way that I hadn't planned to.
But that was separate from the Friday show. I mean, this show is supposed to be positive and
either way,
without rants. The reviews. I don't know that we have to stay. And if we even do any more reviews, to be honest,
I'm planning on doing more reviews eventually. But I want, again, it's focusing on the positive, and I think the take that I got from this whole thing was that we don't want to be a positive escape in a fake way. Of course, we don't want to be like, hey, we're burying our heads in the sand. I mean, clearly, I don't read the news, so I don't even know about Will Smith and all that, but. Mm-hmm. I don't want to pretend like it's not happening. we do acknowledge what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. We do acknowledge that there's a lot of people that are being, hurt right now and that
displaced.
People, and it's disheartening to me to see what's going on. And the interactions that I'm having right now, the people that I see, like even with the interaction that you saw, that your aunt saw, and people that I'm seeing driving around and the way they're handling things and, the road rage that's going on. And it's clearly rampant. It has been forever, but it just feels like it's getting more and more. And I think my theory on this is that, between COVID and the lockdown and the fear and the, telling us what to do kind of thing, don't tell me what to do, that created a lot of pent up anger and people are not handling it and dealing with it correctly.
Well, and anxiety in general.
Yes, anxiety. Yeah. And then the other thing is that, think about this. If you're telling everybody to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart and, that person may have COVID, we have subconsciously brainwashed the population to believe that people are the enemy.
Yeah,
whether you admit it or not.
Everyone around you could be dangerous to you.
They could be.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing that. I'm seeing the result of that finally. And so anyway, there's stuff going on even just with local stuff, and I was just kind of like, I was getting all mad, and I'm like, I got to say something. And then I'm just like, why? Really, like what is, I'm starting to ask myself, is it going to do anyone any good for me to focus on this kind of stuff?
No, you don't focus on it, but you can analyze it.
But even then, and should I say anything about it? Is anyone going to care? Are they going to listen to me? Or is my superpower bringing encouragement to people and looking for the positive perspective or the positive alternative, providing a safe and healthy and real, by the way, we're looking at a real positive escape here.
Right.
Like,
not just a whitewash.
Yeah, we're not, but it's like, hey, everyone is valued and respected here. I don't care what you look like, where you come from, what you've done in your past. I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting anyone, I don't care. Right. So that's the kind of thing. Like, can we create that environment here for people? Can people come to expect the fact that every time that they listen to or watch The Real Brian Show, it's going to be positive. It's going to lift them up and encourage them and make them laugh and make you laugh, make you smile, make you feel better after watching or listening to the show. Like literally, you may have had the worst day in the world. You turn the show on. Guess what? By the time you're done, you're just like, man, I needed that. Yeah. That's what I want to deliver consistently every single time, no matter what. And so I feel like we're doing a decent job of that. I believe we are. I believe we actually are trying to create that and communicate that. And I hope that we can continue doing that. But I don't know. I just felt really, really, really strongly about making this commitment again. We may mess up. We may have a negative moment, but I feel like we just need to do it, and we need to commit to making this show about that. Because, one of the things we were running into back in 2020 is that everybody was putting pressure on content creators. You need to talk about this. And if you don't, you're complicit. You're part of the problem. And I was like, that's not what this show is about. But then I felt like I had to. And so we kind of did. And now I'm going, you know what? Don't tell me what to do. This is my dang show. Okay? Suck it. I'll talk about what I freaking feel like, and it's going to be positive, and it's going to be something that lifts everybody up, encourages you, and makes you have a better day and makes you smile. That's what we're going to do from this point forward. So
there you go.
Everybody else can kiss our big fat toes.
And we'll give and give us a hug too. Because, Because a lot of times people just need a hug.
That's true. I know, and people are angry, and you're right. And I'm just, what I'm doing is I'm confidently saying, this is our show. And this show is for you, to better you, not to bring you down. And so if anyone wants to say, hey, you should talk about this, if it's positive, I'll talk about it. If you have any good suggestions, of course. But if you're going to tell me that I'm an idiot for not bringing something up that doesn't fit on the show, then
we're not here to reinforce your negativity like the mainstream news will. It just will. But I have to say I'm somewhat impressed with society in general. I'm only speaking towards American society because that's what I see. Because I think that the level of anxiety and distrust that the whole COVID thing and the whole COVID thing really has generated over the last couple of years has been so extreme that I'm impressed that it isn't worse than it is. I mean, I'm impressed that when you go out in public, when any of us go out in public, most of our engagements with others are going to be positive.
Yeah.
Or at the very worst, neutral, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone's kind of, even though COVID's not gone away yet, society, we're all kind of pretending it's gone away, and we're coming out of our shells, and we're trying to normalize again.
Yeah.
And I think in doing so, it's causing our daily interactions with each other to be, you know, we're fighting back against that negativity that we've all been covered with over the last couple of years. So I just want to say good job, everyone, for not letting this
Destroy
unprecedented
humanity.
situation wreck society. I mean, I think we're all doing a pretty good job. So,
you know, I appreciate the perspective. I'm so I think I'm just really sensitive to people behaving in a way that is so what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of like, hey, Will Smith was sensitive. Well, I am sensitive to that stuff. And so it's kind of interesting because when I think of being a type 7 on the Enneagram, having a personality where I'm an extrovert, I'm a happy person, and I love people and I love fun, and and it's interesting because one of the things on the Enneagram talks about the type 7 is somebody who doesn't like pain, physical, mental, emotional, etc. And oh my gosh, that's
me.
So true.
I don't like pain.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a type 7, but I don't like pain.
No, you're not, but you've got tendencies.
The thought of people in pain, or even torturing anybody, to me, I just couldn't do it. I'd rather, get rid of someone than torture them, because that's painless, sort of. And that so doesn't match our show, by the way.
I know what you mean.
I was trying to illustrate why the fact that pain in general is something that I'm very, very averse to, because I haven't had to deal with too much of it in my life. Some of it, but not as much as some other people, a lot of other people. So.
Yeah, and I've dealt with, not as much as some, but I've definitely dealt with a lot of pain and emotional anguish and pain and suffering and bullying and, getting beaten down and everything else. And I mentioned that on the show before, but I've gone through hell, and other people, everybody has gone through hell, and a lot of people have gone through more hell than me, and a lot of people haven't. So you kind of just look at that and say, but the thing is that like, I don't want it. I don't like to be around it. And what's funny is, again, if we're just talking Enneagram, type 7 is my primary. Extrovert, fun, happy, let's play games, we love everybody, let's encourage, let's just smile and laugh. Then the type 8 is my secondary, which is more of that strong leader, captain of a starship, got to get things done, you got to make the tough decisions, and you're going to stand up against the bullies. That's me. So these two sides are kind of always warring, and it is kind of funny because that's where I come in and I'm like, don't tell me what to do, kind of thing. That's that personality coming out and saying, hey, we're going to have a conversation here. And then I step back and I say, hold on a second here, though, because that's not the smart way to handle things. And again, the happy-go-lucky is like, I want COVID to be over. Yeah. I don't even want it to have happened in the first place. Everybody wants that, right?
Exactly. Universally, yes.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we're still moving forward in reality. And so the question is, and this goes back to the Holocaust survivors, not just the one I just saw, but in general, crap happened to them. Bad stuff.
Big time.
Really bad stuff. The ones that survived, it's because of the choice they made. And each of them had a different choice, as far as like, well, God's going to save me, or I'm going to stay alive for my family that I'm going to reunite with, or, whatever. They each had different things, but it was the idea of they made a choice. And for the ones that, of course, didn't get exterminated.
Right.
But for those who survived, it's because they chose to and they wanted to. And that's what helped them to overcome the atrocities. And it's the same kind of thing. Like every one of us is going to have bad stuff happening to us. Granted, it's been more collectively lately, but a lot of us are going to have that. The question is, do you overcome it or do you let it overcome you? That's really what it comes down to.
It's a matter of how you process things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And yes, and time is one thing. And I've known people in the past who, they go through a tough time, and you can easily tell that they want that. They want that negative emotion. They want the anger or the depression or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give it up because it becomes a comfort blanket. It's so weird.
And they would never, and they usually don't acknowledge that either. You can only see that from a third person, from an objective perspective.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we can all see each other's problems really well. We can't see our own.
It's like, so like when if you know somebody in your life who is very insecure and they act out because of that, it's super obvious if you know what to look for.
Yeah.
But if you're that person, it's not as obvious to you that why you're being a jerk or whatever, that it's because of this insecurity and of various, whatever kind it is. So,
yeah, it's true. Well, I know. And I think the biggest thing that occurred to me as I started to kind of see myself in a mirror a little bit and realizing that I don't like who I become when issues like this get brought up, because it's not even that I necessarily have an opinion or an opinion that differs. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like, There are a lot of opinions out there, and it's like, maybe I don't agree with them. Maybe I do agree with them. It really doesn't even matter about that. It's more of about, I get frustrated that that's all the person wants to talk about, and I get frustrated at the person's anger and the person's approach to it. That's actually what upsets me more than I don't really care about their opinion as much, we were talking about, well, I mean, I don't want to go on against this, but when people say like, I didn't want to get vaccinated because I would, whatever reasons, right? And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. You choose whatever you want. Yeah. And that didn't bother me. What bothered me is when they said, and I really don't care about anyone else. And if I go out there and give them COVID and they die, it's not on me.
Right.
They can suck it.
Right.
That's when I had a problem with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, okay, look, it's your approach. It's how you're living life. It's the selfishness. It's the pride. It's all that. That drives me crazy. It's not about the opinions. It's not even about the politics as much as it is about how they're hurting people one way or the other.
Right.
And so, and I didn't like how I became when I engaged in that. And so just even the other night, it was like, it got brought up and I engaged, and I was later like regretting and going, man, I have to stop engaging. I have to, because it's not healthy. And honestly, everybody's opinion, they've made up their minds. It doesn't even need to go anywhere. What I can do instead is just, how can I benefit them, bless them, encourage them, make them smile, make their day better. And if they want to complain about it's kind of like Star Trek Picard episode 4, season 2. I didn't like it that much, but what benefit does it have for me to rant on about it?
Right.
It doesn't. I just say, hey, I loved
instinct.
Episodes 1 through 3. Let's just enjoy those and let's move on.
The rant, you have to forgive yourself for stuff like that, because you're human, and it's an instinct for us to vent towards each other.
But
it's all venting. It's venting because of something that's making you anxious.
I just don't like who I become that way, and I don't want to become that.
And that's fair.
Anymore,
That's to your credit that you acknowledge it afterwards and go, I shouldn't have done that, or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that, and so it's that level
choice.
of self-awareness that you have to pat yourself on the back over. So yeah,
we keep moving forward, and this drink is so good.
It really is good. You wouldn't believe how good a ice cream cone tastes.
I know.
But it tastes good.
This is fantastic. I mean, it's so good for you too. I mean, this is great for your counting calories. Hey, what we don't want to be as Debbie Downers too. Yeah. And we brought that up recently, and then the Wraith was like, dude, what's the origin of Debbie Downer? And so, I mean, we got to get into this, because you know what we are? We're happy slappies.
Happy slappies. Yeah, so I looked this up. It was actually, it wasn't what I expected. I kind of thought that Debbie Downer, I mean, it is. I mean, it wasn't just what I thought. It is just it's alliteration. If you're being a downer, what's a D name that starts with, what's a name that starts with D that goes with Downer? Debbie, right? Or and it just comes off the tongue right. Well, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy. Why it's always women's names, that's another discussion altogether.
Well, they had one with Bob too.
Okay, good.
I forgot what Bob was, but yeah, there's a few.
I'm glad. So the best definition I found on the internet was from dictionary.com. And so while a downer has been used to refer to a depressing person since at least the 1970s, I didn't know it was that recent.
Yeah.
The name Debbie Downer was popularized by a hit Saturday Night Live sketch starring Rachel Dratch. I don't even remember Rachel Dratch.
I looked her up, by the way, and yeah, you totally recognize her.
I would recognize her.
I didn't know her name, though.
Remember the name, yeah.
She's been on a lot.
Who played a character named Debbie Downer. This character consistently ruins a group's fun by sharing unsolicited, sad remarks. I really need to go back. I need to YouTube this, because I'd love to see these.
I haven't seen them either.
And I probably saw them back in the day, but I just forgot. So the original Debbie Downer sketch aired on May 1st, 2004. With Dratch's character interrupting a family vacation to Walt Disney World with negative contributions to each conversation topic. It featured host Lindsay Lohan back when she was really famous.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
the
her.
first Debbie Downer sketch has gone down as one of SNL's finest moments. Installments of the Debbie Downer sketch ran regularly on SNL from 2004 to 2006. So, although many assume Debbie Downer was an expression prior to the sketch, Dratch confirms that the term took off after the sketch character became popular. So, on explaining how the idea that for the Debbie Downer character came to her, Dratch explained, quote, "I was on vacation in Costa Rica, and when I told someone that I was from New York, they asked, 'Were you there for 9/11?' The conversation froze. When I got back, the name Debbie Downer popped into my head." So
That's awesome.
there you go. That's where it came from.
That really fascinated me because at first I thought, no way. There's no way that it became popular in 2004 because,
Right.
I mean, I've heard it since I was a kid,
Yeah, I think I had to. But Right.
And I went online and there is nothing else about the origin of Debbie Downer. People said downer in general.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, like you said, the 70s. And then, of course, the word downer actually has connotations back into the 1800s. But
Right.
it meant something different.
Right.
And then, of course, there was downer when it, referring to a drug and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
But never once did I see anything about Debbie Downer pre-2004. And I'm like, dude, people have been saying that since before that. So why is there no origin? Or here's my other theory is Saturday Night Live just said, no, we invented it.
I think it's just a natural, it's a little bit of a creativity that somebody came up with probably sometime in the 20th century, and it kind of spread, but then it became popular when SNL grabbed onto that phrase and ran with it. So
yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Upload, that TV show?
No.
It was with Robbie Amell.
No.
Oh my gosh. It's very interesting. And what's the first episode, I was kind of like, well, I don't know. It kind of goes down this weird path that I'm not a huge fan of. And then it got really good. And it was just one of those, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see season 2. Well, season 2 just came out and I didn't realize it's been out for about a week or so now, maybe 2 weeks. And by the way, thank you, Captain Hammerpants, for bringing that to my attention because we were talking about, Upload. Have you seen Upload? Oh, yeah. I said, I can't wait for season 2. I'm like, it's out. I'm like, oh. Well,
good. That's not
usually but usually I'm on top of that. And I was I'm sorry about that. But I'm looking forward to season 2. I have not watched it yet, so I'll be watching it soon. But Halo.
Yeah.
Halo. Have you watched it yet?
Not yet, but I can't wait. I'm going to be watching it. I will have watched as many episodes as I can before the next show. So before we have our next recording, I'll have caught up with it. Yeah.
Dude, Halo. Okay, so if you are a Halo fan, it's amazing. Now, I'm still trying to figure out if the story is going to go somewhere. I've not watched episode 2 yet. It just came out for us. To me, I'm not sure. So I kind of looked at the acting a little bit. Some of the acting was a little okay. Some of the story, it's kind of like, well, we'll see where they're going. Interestingly enough, though, there's a huge tension between, I think I would call them colonists. They work certain planets for various reasons. Tensions between the colonists and the UNSC, which in the games, you don't hear anything about that. Everybody's, UNSC's fine. You're playing the Master Chief, of course, or a Spartan. Halo Reach, by the way, was one of my favorite games, and it was pre-Halo 1, for those of you who don't know that.
Prequel, yeah.
And this is pre-Halo Reach. So it's pre the fall of Reach, which of course happens, and everybody knows that.
But it's called Halo. But Halo 1 is where they find the first Halo, right? The Ring World.
Sort of. So you find out, that's what you think, but then you find out in the games later that, no, they knew a little bit about these. But
because they have to have a Ring World in the series. They have to. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's interesting to me because, you know what, I've got so many good memories of playing Halo, the original game. And it's so cool because, I remember my cousin was playing it with a group of friends once, and I went over and I was just watching this game and just being amazed at how far the games had come at that point.
Still good.
Oh, yeah. And then
21 years later, it's still a good game.
My next door neighbor had an Xbox and I didn't. And so I would go over there and it would be snowing out, because he and I are both entrepreneurs. So we'd get our work done. We'd get together, it'd be snowing, and we'd be playing Halo and eating, crap, good food, you know.
Because you're young, yeah.
Yeah. And here we are, you know, eating health foods right now. So,
right, health foods.
Yeah, it was fun, though. I mean, great memories playing Halo and, of course, Halo 2 and so on and so on. And I've played them all except for Halo 5. I think Reach is probably my favorite story of all the games. But anyway, yeah, the fact that this is pre-Fall of Reach, which I think is neat. So it's pre that game. So it's before Halo 1, of course. But anyway, if you're a Halo fan, I got to say this much. The bringing the game to life is absolutely beautiful. When you see those Covenant elites come in for the first time, you're just like, oh my gosh. And then when the first Covenant elite goes demon in their language, you know, when he sees the Master Chief, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so, I mean, totally nerding out, dude. It's amazing. So we'll see where the story goes. I don't know what they're going to do yet.
The first episode was impressive.
It was, but again, the story's going in a weird way.
Oh.
They're making, I don't know what they're going to do. That's why I'm reserving my thoughts. I know a lot of people have jumped to conclusions and saying, why would they do that? I'm like, just wait. The story's not done yet.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a part of the story that they're adding to the whole story as a whole. And we'll get more. Now, the one thing that I'm disappointed with is that they don't have the original Master Chief doing the voice.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but to be fair, he's also not a live actor,
right.
And they need a live actor for this. And so, you know, the guy doing it, it's fine, but it feels a lot more Mandalorian-ish. Kind of that, you know, talk like this in the background under the helmet. You know, the Master Chief that's not going to happen. It was this very, you know, intense voice. And this guy talks like the Mandalorian. I was like, yeah, don't copy that. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
The main girl protagonist, the jury's out on her.
Okay.
I'm not sure about her character yet. I didn't immediately like her character. I was kind of like, okay. But apparently, and we have not seen her yet, but apparently the girl that plays Cortana in the games is going to play Cortana in the show.
Oh, good. Okay.
Jen somebody. So I'm excited about that.
Cool. Yeah,
we'll see. You know what I really want, though?
Actor.
I want that sergeant to come in and be like, all right, all you alien.
I want some red versus blue action on this show.
I just want the guy, I'm talking about, he's like, oh, I know what the ladies like. You know, that guy. You haven't seen that one.
You made that up.
Oh, man, he's so awesome.
What's a puma?
Red versus blue. If you haven't seen that and you're a Halo fan, go check it out.
Check it out.
It does. It looks more like a puma than a warthog. Anyway, great. I'm excited. Now, the Adam Project. You haven't seen that either.
No.
I'm just like watching all this stuff you haven't seen yet. So this is, Ryan Reynolds and another one of those. It's a time travel style movie. It's good. It's on Netflix. I really liked it. The reviews are surprisingly bad for it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, it's got kind of an E.T. vibe, kind of mixed with some good sci-fi and stuff. And it's got some decent actors in it.
Was it a one-off or a series?
It's just a one-off movie. Yeah. But I think it's funny because the kid in it's fantastic, by the way. I mean, I was really blown away, but I think it's a worth watch. It's fun to do. It's a fun show, but why people are whining and complaining and ranting about it, I don't really know. Maybe, again, people are just taking things too seriously.
People like to do that. And the internet gives them that perfect forum for that.
It's a popcorn flick, man. Just have fun. Yeah. You know, it actually does make a lot of sense, too. So they did a good job with that. Spider-Man No Way Home, I finally watched that.
Dude, I still haven't seen it, and I need to. I'm really excited to see it, and I just haven't seen it yet.
I feel stupid that I haven't seen it until now.
I feel really beyond stupid that I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
I know.
I think it's my favorite Spider-Man so far.
I know how good it is, and I haven't even seen it yet.
I know.
I know it's good.
It's great. I was shocked. I thought they did a really good job. They did tug at the heartstrings and the nostalgia a bit, which I think was fine. They did a good job with it.
Yeah.
But I think it made the movie too, and I thought it was great. So I was so sad when it was over. It's one of those that I did watch in sections because it's 2.5 hours, I think. And so it was one of those like, well, I just don't have the time to watch it all the way through. But when it was done, I was kind of like, no, I want more. And that's the first time I've said that in a while.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Good.
We're finally going to go see the Batman.
Yes.
In the theater.
Yes. Unless,
of course, by the time we get to it, when you're out here, they don't have it in the theater anymore.
They'll have it.
I think it'll be there. I think there's like 2 showings left.
Yeah. We'll get it right under the radar. You know, The Matrix, when it came out, it was out for the entire summer, the spring and summer.
Yeah.
It came out at the end of March. It was out through August, I think. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks, I think, because we're going to go see it after next week's show. So now I heard it's 3 hours. I've heard it's very, very good.
I heard it's 3 hours with previews, though. That doesn't count.
Oh, I heard it was 3 hours plus previews, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
People did say that it was, some have said it's the best Batman movie they've ever seen, even better than the Christian Bale movies.
Which is saying something.
Yeah, and others have said no, but it's up there. And I've not heard anything negative about it.
Yeah, me neither.
And he does sparkle. when he's Bruce Wayne. So
all right,
it's pretty exciting.
Sparkling Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, let's talk new music. I've got 5 songs here that I just want. I get excited sometimes and I just start going through and finding new stuff and then I'm just like, no, I love this music. It's so exciting. Let's get serious. Okay. That's not funny. There's this girl named Wanda. Okay. But it's actually spelled W-A-N-D-E. So maybe it's like Wandy or Wand.
Yeah.
Or Wandy. I really don't know. Regardless, she's a hip hopper. Awesome. And the song's called They Didn't Know 2, Roman numeral 2. Dude, it's going in the TRBS 2022 Spotify playlist. So go check that out. If you want to know what these are, by the way, and I don't care if you listen to Spotify or not, at least go and, get a free account and go get these songs in there. The link is in the show notes. It's on the website and it's in the description below on YouTube. So make sure to go get that link. Check out those songs and let us know if you want me to listen. If you're thinking, oh, Brian, have you heard this yet? I'd like to hear your music too, Anyway, this one's awesome. This gets me pumped up. Unsecret and Serchina.
Sverchina.
Yeah,
Sversina.
Sversina. It's like Chaverches.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a beautiful song, dude. It's very orchestral in a way that sounds like a movie soundtrack. And it's called Hanging On by a Thread, but her voice is amazing, dude. Speaking of beautiful voices, Ruel. Oh, yeah. Somebody else. Brand new. Haven't heard a Ruel song in a while, actually. So this is kind of a refreshing thing to have that. And then I like Alesso. So he does a bunch of music, a lot of beats and stuff like that. He was in Payday 2, the video game.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the music was in there. And there's one of the missions you do is actually a concert. And it's him doing the concert. And it is so awesome.
Interesting.
I love his music. And actually, he did a song in 21 with Katy Perry that I absolutely loved. Huh. Maybe I'll throw that one in there too, just for fun. It's a little older now, but I'll do that. And then the new one he does with Sentinel, and it's called Only You. And then the last song I've got here is Odessa, of course. Oh my gosh. Odessa has a beautiful new song with the Knox. It's called Love Letter.
I like the Knox too.
Awesome, dude.
I like the Knox.
Yeah. So 5 songs. I'm going to add a 6th one, the one with Katy Perry in there as well. 6 songs for you. And again, if you forget about those, but if you like music, got to go check these out. So go into that Spotify list and see what happens. But Captain, we got to go, man. We got to go get some Himalayan.
Himalayan.
Or a Himalayan.
Himalayan?
Yeah, let's take a drink here and celebrate our I can't even say it. That is a tasty Do you mind if I have a tasty beverage to go with that burger?
Oh. Say what again?
I want to eat a piece of that tasty burger.
Deep Thoughts with Captain Influence.
I'll bet that if I were put into suspended animation for 1 million years and woke up in the year 1,000,2022, Family Guy would still be in syndication.
Well, you know what the music means.
Music.
Forecast for today, cloudy with a chance of doom. Family Guy is going to be forever. It's time to go, man. It is time. We may have a surprise guest next week joining us in studio. Well, it's not a surprise if she joins us. Oh, now you know it's a she, too.
Oh, jeez. Give it all away.
Thank you for joining us. Have a glorious week. Real Brian Show is signing off.
The Real Brian Show is a production of 514 Media at 514mediaempire.com.